All right, so we are on the air for Battling Basic. Today, we got our guest on here, Saeed Mobayed. Is a fitness YouTuber with over 100K subscribers. So I met you on campus, man, and I had to know your story because it's not every day that you meet someone who is a YouTuber with over 100K subscribers. And from what I understand, is that you started this channel just 2 years ago. So kind of give me some background as to how you got onto YouTube, how you grew your channel so quick, and kind of how you got into your fitness journey. Cause man, you're ripped, bro. You're pretty ripped. So I gotta know.
Okay, bro. So first of all, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit about YouTube, how I started it. So we're in 2017 right now. In 2015, I graduated from McMaster University with a chemical engineering degree, believe it or not. But
Not related to fitness at all.
not at all, not at
Jeez.
all. And I knew when I got the degree that that degree was never going to be used. I just knew it right away. In fact, I knew it a year in advance because I've worked as an intern in Alberta. I worked as an intern, chemical engineering intern for a year. And it was that year that really, really got me thinking because I've been studying this. I didn't like it all that much. But when I worked in a year in the environment, the corporate environment, I realized that shit's not for me. I was miserable, angry all the time. I felt there's something innately wrong about a human getting up every morning, sitting in front of a desk for 8 hours plus commuting time. That's another. If your commute is short, it's probably half an hour. Some people it's like
10
an
hours
hour.
a day, like on average, man.
On average, right?
Yeah.
And I just felt there's something innately wrong about it because I'd wake up and my body is sort of giving me signals to move. It's giving me signals to be out in the world, moving, doing stuff, right? But in the meantime, I'm on a train sitting down, getting to this big giant office, sitting down on a desk. And this was a common recurrence where I'd be sitting in front of the desk and it's maybe lunchtime. And I'd feel this feeling of being choked, you see, like I'm in a prison, you see, because
like anxiety or
anxiety, yes, because, and it doesn't have to do too much with people and knowing me or anything. It's just, I have this innate thing where I want to get up and move.
Yeah.
I want to go get some sun. I want to go move. It's this thing, and it's getting stuck in my body, and it's causing this anxiety. Anxiety is simply just either repressed emotions or energy unexpressed. You see, so just like everything else, as human beings, we also have a life force through us. Just like, the birds, what do the birds do? They fly, right? What does a bee do? It does bee shit, right? That's what it does. It does bee shit, right? Bee shit. Right?
Yeah.
Just dances around, pollinates the plants, and just does bee shit.
Yeah.
Well, by the same logic, we also do human shit, okay? Which includes getting up and moving. Essentially, our body's designed to move.
Yeah.
We walk upright, and we're designed to move. And for the vast majority of our evolution as a human species, we've evolved in the wilderness, right? We've moved, we've hunted, we ran after prey, we had things chasing us, lions, etc. We moved. So for so long. Only recently, in the very, very recent history, have we adopted this lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, where you're sitting down and you're not moving and you're not using the body as it was intended to be used, right?
Yeah.
So for that entire year, I was frustrated beyond limit. And it was that year I got a punching bag in my basement where I lived. I lived in the basement. I would come back from work really, really frustrated, just feeling like something is innately wrong with what I'm doing. I'm not feeling at peace, definitely. So I'd just punch with this absolute terrible form. It's just pure anger at that point. Punch the bag, kick the bag. Then I'd go to the gym, And at the time, I listened to a lot of Eminem and a lot of, rap and angry music. And I love Eminem. I still listen to Eminem, right? But at that time, it was all Eminem's angry songs, right?
Okay.
Put him on, 8 Mile, Lose Yourself was more motivational. 8 Mile, all these, really, really just because I get this frustrated, right? I felt like I was stuck. I was a prisoner of some sort, and I didn't know what my prison cell was yet. You can say I was beginning to study and understand my prison cell, and by default, everyone else's prison cell in this modern society that we created. So I used to go to the gym. That's the year. I mean, I've always been working out on and off, but it was that year, I guess, out of my frustration, my passion for fitness was is that the word rekindled? It was rekindled, right? So if it's a flame, rekindled, right? It was that year that my passion for fitness was rekindled, and it's ironic because it was this anger and frustration that pushed me to go to the gym every day after work.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I was exhausted from work mentally and just physically from sitting down, that frustration, that anger, and that built up anxiety would just push me to go to the gym. So I drink my coffee, listen to Eminem, hit the gym. And I remember walking to the gym with just the biggest frown on my face. Not talking to anyone, just going in there. And I remember after the gym, I would be one of the best people to be around because I'd be smiling, happy, feeling good, feeling amazing. If I had walked in and not said anything to the front desk, by the time I'm leaving out, I have a conversation with them. I'm nice, I'm mellow, I'm cool, everything is beautiful.
Endorphins,
Endorphins, adrenaline, all of that, right?
Yeah.
And I started to fall in love with being physical.
Mm-hmm.
Started falling in love with being active. And it was then that I realized that I've been a prisoner all my life. Since I was a kid in kindergarten,
Mm-hmm.
I have been a prisoner.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. And I started studying the way we organize society, and I started studying myself, and I realized, hold on, I've been put on a fucking chair since I was a little kid. And as a kid, I was very active. Very athletic. And it didn't matter because I was pushed into academics, just like most kids are. And I realized, boy, really, this is stupid. The way we imprison these kids, we're all kids at some point. The way we imprison kids from a very young age, put them in a desk, have them to listen to some boring ass shit that is not going to be relevant to them in the practical life, that is not going to help them become really better human beings. It's setting them up to be employees. That's really what it is. If you study the modern school system, you will see that it is almost purely there to breed employees.
Yeah.
Really, unless you're lucky enough to find your way out of that, you're gonna be there to become an employee. And what happens is, as kids, look at kids. All you have to do is look at kids. They're full of energy. They're full of vitality.
Yeah.
They're jumping up and down. They're laughing. They're playing. The energy is just, they're more tuned in with the natural force, the natural energy of the universe, right? But then with the
social conditioning,
we force them to sit down on desks and become tame, have their energy tamed, unexpressed.
Yeah.
And this is why anxiety and depression are such a high thing in modern society. Because we're not moving. We're not expressing our natural energy. We're taming it. We're forgetting that our animal side. We're pretending like, hey, we don't have a body. Just sit down and think.
We're more civilized than animals.
Civilized than animals, exactly.
Yeah.
We're more civilized than animals, right? And that's a problem, man, because you cannot ignore millions of years of evolution, right? You cannot ignore millions of years of evolution.
You can't just tuck that shit under the rug.
You can't, man. You can't do that, right? You can't just be like, oh yeah, forget about that. You're now civilized. You have to act in a certain way, in a certain manner. No. We have to work with this body that we have.
Yeah.
We absolutely have to. In fact, you will be at your happiest when you're using this body as it's intended, as it's designed to do, right?
Yeah.
If you took a fish out of the ocean and told the fish to fucking go and fend for itself on land, it's not gonna do that. It's gonna die, right? It's not designed to do that. How are we?
It's got to do fish shit.
Yeah, fish shit. Yeah, fish shit, right?
Yeah.
In the same way, we humans gotta do human shit, and now we're pretty adaptable, right? So human shit is can have a wide variety of things,
Yeah.
but one constant remains: you gotta use your body.
Yeah.
You gotta exercise your body, and you gotta express the energy that's flowing through your body, right? That just seems to be a universal thing. And yeah, ever since then, I realized, okay, fitness is what I love. Society's fucked up. I have to find a way out of it. I have to find a way out of it, period. I can't do that. I can't be sitting down on a desk. I was fucking miserable. I was angry. I was frustrated for the whole year. So I came back on my last year in university, and I said, hey, that I'm going to do this last year. Because, I've been doing this for 5 years.
You gotta finish it off, eh?
You gotta finish it off, right? You gotta finish it off.
You gotta do it for the parents.
For the parents and stuff, right? You gotta finish it off. So I said, I'm gonna finish it off, but, that I'm not using it. And I made up my mind. Guys, if you're listening to this and you wanna do something, you got to make up your mind that this is what I'm gonna do. I made up my mind a year before that degree is never gonna be used. And I was ready to take on any type of part-time job, anything like that. And I have taken part-time jobs since then. I was ready to do anything, but I said that degree is not being used. That's my decision, right? I decided that degree is not being used, but I had no idea that I was going to do YouTube or anything else at that time. No idea yet.
But you knew there was something there for you.
Yes, I knew there was something there for me, fitness-related, body-related. So I said, okay, all right, let's try and figure it out. So in January of 2015, so about 2.5 years ago, I had been taking cold showers for 3 months, and they've been changing my life. So I made a video, random video on YouTube, cold showers make your balls bigger. Go check it out. I had made part 2 and part 3 since, okay? Right? So, and the video went viral. My first ever video, right?
Really?
Yeah, it went viral. It got like 20,000 views in a few days. And that was my first ever video. I posted it on Reddit. And to me, that was a sign from the universe that there's something there for you. Beginner's luck. I believe, I don't know, I'm a bit like that. But if I get a beginner's luck in something, that's to me the sign of the universe saying there's something there for you.
Yeah.
So, of course, 20,000 views in a matter of maybe 3-4 days. Lots of good comments, lots of positive feedback. I said, hey, clearly, maybe I can talk to a camera. People seemed interested in that video. It was like a 5-minute video, right? Just put it there in a room, really shitty quality. But, it did well. So I said, okay, maybe there's something there for me. So then, I had a few days to graduate, and I did. And right after graduation, so May 2015, I sat down for an entire month. I got 2 giant, big fucking notebooks, a few pens. Every single day, for an entire month, maybe more, I would wake up, make my coffee, go for a walk in nature, come back, and self-reflect. Because to me, it's a do or die battle for me to find my passion in life at that point. I just graduated. I decided I'm not using this. I had some money saved up from my internship that can last me for a little bit. So, I was lucky in that sense that I had some time to actually sit down and self-reflect. And a lot of people don't. They graduate and right straight into the workforce.
Yeah.
No time.
See, man, that's the problem, man. You finish high school, what's the next thing to do? University. You finish university, what's the next thing to do? Maybe a master's. What's the next thing to do? You work. Next thing you know, you're 65.
Right.
And you haven't really done anything that you really wanted to do.
Right.
So you self-reflected it to kind of stop that process.
Oh, yeah. For an entire month, even 2 months, I would say I dedicated that, all my energy and all my time into self-reflection. What is it that I want to do? What is it that I'm good at? I just, my video did well, but it's one video, right? It's just one video. I haven't decided I'm going to do YouTube. I haven't decided anything yet.
Yeah.
I'm still floating up in the air. But I said, this is a do or die situation. Luckily, like I said, I had some money saved up from the job, which was smart of me because I saw this coming. I knew that there's a lot of uncertainty coming my way. So all the money that I made in my internship, I saved it up.
You be stable for a little bit just to.
Yeah, just to figure out what I want to do, right? And I lived in a shitty place. I had like mice and rats and shit, and I had like mouse traps, but there was too many of them, so I just learned how to live with them peacefully. But I tried to save all my money while I was working because I knew this uncertainty is gonna happen, and I needed some time to sit back and reflect. And like you said, the problem is you're always pushed to go into the next thing, which is really set to you by society. You know, society tells you time to go to school, time to go to university, time to get a job, right? But really, what is the fucking rush? We're all gonna die anyway.
Bro, like the life expectancy is 80 years old, and I see all these 22-year-olds being like, oh my gosh, I gotta find a job right now. I'm panicking. It's like you got like 60 more years of your life to live if you're an average person. So just chill out for a year, figure out what you want to do. You don't have to rush into it and waste the next 40 years of your life, you know? I just don't understand that mentality.
Yeah, and it's just ingrained by us, right? Like, it's just that society tells you there's this rush. Everybody's always in a rush.
Yeah.
Right? To go nowhere, really. Because you go nowhere, really. And you think about it, where are you going? You don't go to the graveyard at the end.
I think they just seek stability all the time, man. Like, you know, they just want to be stable all the time. You can't be stable if the thing that you're going to do eventually is worth doing. You're going to have to be a little bit unstable to figure out what it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? So like that little bit where you had the money saved up from your internship, you were probably like a little unstable. You didn't really know what you want to do. You didn't have a set job that you wanted to do, but you know, you took the chance anyways, and you really found out what you wanted to do, no?
100%. So I took my sweet time. Took me maybe 2 months of just pure self-reflection. Nothing else was going on at the time but self-reflection, right? And I mean, I just graduated. What's the rush? Then I had just, after a series of reflections, and the more you reflect, the more you become certain, right? I went back to my childhood, reflected on the things I love to do, and the things that made me the happiest in my childhood were playing soccer, swimming, anything physical, right? And I talked to my mom. I asked her. She said, since you were 2 years old, you were one of the most active kids anywhere I took you, and it's true. And you've seen me in the gym, and you've seen I'm a monkey.
You're very enthusiastic. Man.
Yeah, I'm a monkey. I'm just always jumping up and down. So then I realized, okay, fitness, that's what I want to do. And then I came up with the decision that I'm going to do YouTube, right? I just came up with that decision. That's it. It was a decision that I've made. And again, guys, once you make a decision, take your time making the decision. Don't just make it on a whim. But once you make it, that's it. That's it. Don't go back. Don't look back. That's it. All in. Mm-hmm. Don't look back. So once I made the decision that I'm going to be a YouTuber, with that decision now comes my commitment to become a big YouTuber. It comes the commitment because that's it. I didn't just take 2 months of pure reflection to make a decision and then doubt myself. No, that decisions come from a place of certainty. It came from a place of digging deep within and figuring out what it is that I love to do with my life. What is it that I was naturally good at? What is my natural talents and abilities? And I asked myself, what is it that I love doing the most when I get up in the morning? Right now, not forget childhood and stuff. It was going to the gym. So that's it. I decided, okay, I'm gonna do YouTube. My first video, to me, beginner's luck. Clearly, there's something in there for me. There's some sort of charisma. People like to listen to it. I said, okay, that's it. That is YouTube. From there on, I spent about 3 months. I had 2 wrist surgeries, which you can see here. I have a scar, right? Yeah. So in that, see that right here? 2 wrist surgeries. So I was in a cast when I decided to do YouTube. And then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to take 3 months until my wrist heals and I take off the cast to study some fitness stuff, posture, anatomy, and stuff like that. I got a bunch of books, The Supple Leopard, which is all about posture.
Yeah.
A lot of books, right? And I just read about posture, nutrition, all of that, because I'm like, I want to become an authority in this. I want to be able to provide people. I want to become an authority in this field. So I better educate myself as much as I can, and I still do. Like I still read about this stuff all the time, because knowledge is infinite. Knowledge is infinite, right? If you think you're good at something, you're
always a student. Yeah.
You're always a student, right? So anyway, and then September 2015, I started making videos every single day. Every single day. I just made a commitment. Every single day I'm gonna post videos. Every single day, every single day, every single day. And the first 4 months were rough because I'm putting out videos and I'm not getting views. I'm barely getting any subscribers.
How many views were you getting per video?
Under 100.
Really?
Yeah, under 100, man.
Wow.
Yeah, under 100 views, right? So the first 4 months, I would say it stayed like this.
Even though that first one went viral?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's just one video, you know, and it didn't go all that viral, you know. Just when I say viral, I'm saying relative viral in the sense that it's my first video and I get 20,000 views in a few days, right? But it wasn't that big viral. It got me maybe 200 subscribers in the beginning, which is a huge thing for when you're starting. Nevertheless, I mean, it's just one video, right? And so yeah, I keep posting, and it was rough. And yeah, that was a pretty difficult time because I stopped talking to my parents because they give me a lot of shit for what I'm doing because, you know, to them it's heresy, it's crazy. What are you doing? You got a degree, you know. What are you doing? I didn't talk to a lot of my friends at the time because I didn't want to hear anybody doubting me because there's a lot of people that I know that are friends that just don't see it, right? They don't see it, you know. They don't see it the way I saw it, you know. They don't see it.
Sometimes when you know something, it's only you that knows. You gotta just trust your instinct.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Right. So those, you know, first 6 months of doing YouTube, you know, I would say even more, were very difficult, very lonely. It was a lonely period. It was a lonely period, where, like I said, not speak to my parents or my family for, you know, maybe more than even a month, just not speaking, right?
Yeah.
Because I just didn't want to hear their shit, you know. And I love my parents, but I'm saying I didn't want to hear their shit in the sense of they're gonna give me shit, you know. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Right? And there's nothing on paper for me to show success, right? Most of my friends I cut off at the time just because I didn't want to hear their shit. Nothing against them, nothing personal. And some of these friends, well, after my success has begun to shown, I've brought them back into my life because I love them. I just know that they don't have the foresight to see what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to hear their negativity right now. Or I don't want to hear their doubts, their self-limiting beliefs, because everybody's just going to mirror onto you their own beliefs about reality, right?
Yeah,
and I understand that. I understand everybody makes their own reality kind of thing or shifts into their own reality. And I understood that, okay, these guys don't see it. I love them. They just don't see it.
Yeah.
So cut them off for a bit, for as long as I need. You know, and I did. I cut off some of my close friends. Very lonely time, especially when you're putting out videos every day and you're barely getting any views. But I was determined. I wanted to break through. I was determined. There was nothing going to stop me.
You made that decision, man.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
I made the decision. And if I made the decision, then that's it. I made a commitment to myself. I made a commitment. I'm going to make this work. This decision was coming from a place deep within. It wasn't just a random decision on a whim, right? Take your times making decisions. But once you make them, that's it. Don't look back. Anyway, so then I had this video, how to get abs in 1 week, because the more I went into YouTube, the more I started getting better at the analytics part, the videos that do well, etc., etc.
Like how to title and tag.
How to
the
title,
videos
how to
and
do thumbnails, all of that, right? So you get better at it. You know, you get better at something. You know, in the beginning, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be hard, but you get better at it if you're determined.
Yeah.
So then that video really blew up, and it took me from, you know, 10th. I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember numbers, but it blew me up. It blew me the fuck up. That was the one video that blew me up. It has, I think, right now as we're speaking, I'm not sure, but maybe 1.7 million views.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think 1.7. Last time I checked, I think it was 1.6, or so I'm guessing it's 1.7. So that video blew me up, right? And I just kept going. I kept going, right? I kept going. I was determined. I went above and beyond. I studied the analytics. I studied everything. I saw what other YouTubers were doing. Titles, thumbnails, etc. I was like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be a success, right? Doesn't matter. I just want. This is something I have to do. And yeah, so I did that, and we're almost, I think, as speaking now, 98,000 subscribers. The growth rate has slowed down since, but again, I've only been doing this for 2 years, right? So we're 2017 now, October, so a little more than 2 years, right? So in a little more than 2 years, almost 100,000 subscribers. That's pretty good. That's pretty good because I always say, I'm just warming up, bro. And honestly, I'm just warming up. I started another channel now. It's for philosophy, consciousness, spirituality, all that kind of stuff. And I'll declare it in this podcast. It's going to follow the footsteps of the first one and maybe get even bigger.
Okay.
right? Patience.
Let the records show.
Yeah, the record shows. um, Patience, persistence, and perseverance. Those three things. I still have to use them now because I'm still, to me, a baby. Like, I still look at myself as a baby in life. I'm a baby still. 100,000, so what? It's, baby, it's okay, but I'm saying still, I have to be persistent. I have to be practice perseverance and patience, right? This is why it's important to do something you love, because these things will be much, and hard work, obviously, much easier to practice. If you're doing something you love, it's going to be much easier for you to be patient.
Yeah.
To see the success, right? The material success of it, or the manifestation of it, let's say. Perseverance, persistence, same thing. You can be doing something you hate, and it will be much harder for you to be patient and persistent and persevere in it.
Like chemical engineering, right?
Like chemical engineering, yeah. Like, if I could have been working as a chemical engineering now, and I would have been a miserable prick.
Yeah.
I would have been a miserable prick. I am telling you right now, I would not be enthusiastic about life. I would not be going in this direction, which to me is a positive direction.
Well, not that there's anything wrong with chem.
No,
absolutely.
absolutely.
It's just not for you, right?
It's not for me. No,
Yeah.
no. Absolutely not for me. I think in engineering specifically, 9 out of 10 people that do engineering, just my experience, engineering is not for them. But then the other 10, so the 1 person in 10, you'll see that no, engineering is for these people.
Like Elon Musk or
like
something.
Elon Musk. Fuck, are you kidding me, man? Like, Elon Musk is a genius, and that's for him. Yeah. Clearly, that's his path. Clearly, you just see it, you know it, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and it's important to do something you love, because for me, the patience to build what I'm building, and to me, like I said, I'm nowhere near, and I think there is no such thing as a finish line, right?
Yeah.
We're young people, man. Like, we're building the new world, right, together.
Have you ever heard of the term born relentless, taught to be relent? So like it's a sports like term, right? And so the guy says that as human beings, we're born relentless. So if you observe an infant and you watch him in his environment, he goes around, he messes things up, he spills that, he messes that up, he moves that out of place. But then as we grow older, through social conditioning and whatnot, we're taught to be relent. We're like, okay, that's wrong, you can't do that, you can't do this, which is good because you don't want to be spilling shit everywhere, but there are certain situations in which you should be relentless. For example, when you're in an athletic environment, when you should be going to work out and working out hard. You should be moving your body because at the end of the day, you're a human being. So like he says, we're born relentless, we're taught to be relent. But yeah, like I firmly believe that, because like we should be moving, but we're not. So like we should always try to strive to continue being relentless, just in the proper situation.
Right, and why tame the beast when the beast wants to be set loose? Right? Why tame the beast, right? We're all beasts inside. All of us, there's a beast in there. And why tame the beast? Why not put him into use?
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a thing in a lot of the modern societies now where sort of that they're trying to completely destroy the testosterone driven aspect of the man in the society, right? Instead of putting it into use. This is why I think like putting kids in martial arts and sports is a huge thing for kids growing up, right? Why not put that aspect of human into use, as opposed to try and tame it, because it's not going to be tamed, right? A lion, you try to tame a lion, and you go see a lion in captivity versus a lion in the wilderness. The lion in the captivity, it's just not the same lion.
He's just chilling in his cage, right?
Yeah, and it's not the same lion.
It's sad,
It's
man.
sad, and you look at it, and it's not the same lion. It just isn't, right? You don't get that same awe feeling you get from if you went to see a lion in the wilderness, because that's a lion. That's a lion doing lion shit. And as humans, we cannot ignore that we're fucking beasts. Look at our history. We've killed and pillaged so much, right? And unfortunately, it showed up in a negative way for a lot of our history, right?
World War One, World War Two.
Yeah, I mean that, boy, right? But if you had, channeled all that energy, all that sort of viciousness that it seems to be innate within a human, into positive use, put it in a positive direction, channel it in a positive way, right? I mean, you would have people walking around feeling happy because they're happy in their body.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason why your body produces endorphins. There's a reason why your body produces dopamine and releases serotonin when you exercise. You're meant to. You're meant to run. You're meant to get physical. You're meant to even, get in physical. I mean, you do wrestling, physical alterations, with your fellow men. You're meant to do that.
Yeah.
So why not see that this is just a natural thing that's been going in us humans for millions of years? And why not just put it into positive use, right? Teach kids that, okay, we can use this energy without harming each other. You see, the problem is when that energy becomes harmful, right? But, again, in modern society, you try to just, say, oh, that side of humanity, that's savages, that's just for barbarians, right? Barbarians. No, we don't have to worry about that anymore. If we teach kids how to behave, if we teach kids how to be well behaved, and if we teach them how to just, be quiet and be polite, then, it's okay. We'll just get rid of that. Be quiet, Billy. Be quiet, Billy.
Don't touch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And if you walk around on campus, right? Any campus right now in the world, you will smell the anxiety in everyone. You will smell the anxiety in everyone.
Mental health, man, it's becoming a big issue, right?
Yeah, it's becoming a big issue.
And especially recently. And it correlates with what?
Sitting down, not exercising, not eating properly, not being healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, not being healthy. And I remember my university years, I popped quite a bit of Adderall, the study pill. I stayed up so many times, like I would stay up till 8, 9 a.m. studying.
Jeez.
I ate the shittiest food. And I was just a sample. I mean, most students were doing that, and I was just doing that as well. Right? I was just doing that as well. And, a campus is correlated with fast food chain and joints. I mean, any campus you go to in the world, surrounded by fast food. Because, these kids don't have time to cook. I didn't have time to cook. No time. Just study, study, study. And I know some of you guys listening saying, oh, here, I'm studying and I'm doing everything right. And, I think you're one of the lucky ones. Me and a lot of people, you're just going by the program. You're seeing what everyone else is doing. Oh, let's order pizza. All right, we're putting an all-nighter today to study, right? And you're just going with the program. So, you can definitely balance both.
Yeah, like some people just operate different. And, you can obviously change that with, practice and stuff.
Absolutely.
But, some people are just so overwhelmed that they just don't.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I was one of those kids, right? And it's unfortunate because if we all live according to the laws of Mother Nature, get up with the sun, sleep when it's dark, eat healthy, whole, natural foods, move our bodies as it's intended, a lot of these anxiety problems would just kind of dissipate on their own.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, there's childhood traumas and stuff like that, right? But you can deal with that, right? You can deal with that. There's a lot of ways to deal with it. Therapy, psychedelics, lots of ways to deal with it, right? But if you...
It's tough. For some people, that's kind of out of your control. But for most people, as long as they do those things, you should be good mentally.
I want to take a worst case scenario. Let's say somebody has been sexually abused as a kid, right? And right now they're just miserable because of that, but also because of how they're living in the present moment, right? Say you're in the present moment and you're eating shitty food and everything's shitty. So now you're having to deal with this. You're getting stabbed by a sword and you're getting hit by a hammer at the same time. And the hammer is what happened to you when you were a kid, and the sword is what's happening to you in the present. Okay, if you want to deal with what happened to you in the past, the hammer that's hammering you in the back of your head, you got to get yourself in the right mental state in the present. So you still got to eat healthy, eat right, get yourself in a positive mental state and say, all right, let's tackle that thing. Let's tackle that hammer. Let's slay that dragon that's haunting me from the past. And we all have these dragons. But in order for you to even get in that mental state where you're positive and you're saying, let's deal with it in a positive way, you got to look at the present right now and make it as healthy and as productive
So you're saying
as
that
possible.
you can't deal with the past like bad moments without dealing with the present first.
100%.
So you gotta deal with the present, and then you can.
100%.
Okay.
100%, for sure.
Do you ever think the past can screw you up so bad that it becomes so difficult to deal with it in the present?
Yeah, I think that's most people.
Okay.
I think most people, because we're not living present moment, I mean, think about it, a lot of us are living in our thoughts, either in the future or in the past. And yeah, I think for a lot of people, whatever happened to them in their past, whether it's perceived trauma or real trauma, right? I mean, if you've been sexually abused as a kid, that is real trauma.
For sure. Yeah.
That is a lot to take in, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, that is a lot to take in. And that could still be fucking up your present, right? Or it could be perceived, right? I mean, it could be something not as serious from, if you were to look at it from an alien's point of view, but to you, it was traumatizing.
Like just because of your perspective towards it?
Just because of your perspective. And
Okay.
either way, it's real, man. If your trauma is perceived, it becomes real.
Yeah.
Right? So either way, it's real. And I think a lot of people are living in the past, and that past is just continues to shape their present moment. And
How do you think someone can get out of that?
present moment, meditation, and being present in the now.
Okay.
Before you even deal with your past. Just
Okay.
being present in the now. Cold showers. This is why I preach the shit out of cold showers, because if cold showers will fucking take you out of
talk
time.
about the benefits of cold showers
Okay.
real quick, because
So-
I don't understand how that helps you be present. Is it because it's so tough to deal with that you have to be in the present moment?
Right,
Okay.
right, okay. So, let's say I'm Saeed, right? And I'm having a lot of problems to deal with in the past, right? I'm dealing with my insecurities and my bullying and all of that happened to me in the past and my perceived low self-esteem. And at the same time, I'm dealing with the uncertainty in the future. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna get a job? Am I gonna get this? You know? Well, I walk in a cold shower and all that disappears. It doesn't fucking matter. You are now having to deal with this external force that will jolt you out of any sense of time you have, any sense of past or future. You are now breathing for your life. You're now
It
breathing
makes
for
you
your survival.
hyperventilate, right?
It makes you hyperventilate, and now you're breathing for your life.
Mhm.
There's no such thing as I got bullied in the past. There's no such thing as I don't know if I'm gonna get that job or not. There is, if I don't breathe right now and hyperventilate and warm my internal organs, I'm going to fucking die. That's it. So you're there. And in the beginning, you know, of course, your first cold shower is going to be, I mean, you're going to probably be screaming and yelling and all sorts of weird noises are going to be emanating out of your body and out of your mouth. And, until you get used to it and you're breathing, right? Well, in that, let's say you're under that water for 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, I can guarantee you're not thinking about what happened in the past and you're not thinking about your future job. I can guarantee you. There's no way you can do that. You're breathing for your life, okay? And after these 5 minutes of real discomfort and really fighting for your life, your body will jolt you with endorphins. It will jolt you with adrenaline. And you will feel absolutely amazing after. Absolutely amazing. Oxygen. Your cells, every cell in your body will be oxygenated to the max. You'll feel wonderful. And you do that over and over and over.
So you do that every morning? Or
Every
what?
morning, yeah, every morning. So there's a lot of benefits. I can talk about the physical recovery. All top-level athletes take ice baths, right? All
Yeah,
of them.
I take ice baths.
You take ice bath too? Yeah, you have to be.
Are they the same, or what do you say? What do you think?
From what I know, ice baths are better for recovery.
Yeah.
From what I know.
And then showers are more for breathing?
Yes, showers are more for. Well, I mean, you are still breathing in the ice bath, but in the cold shower, you're forced to add it much more quicker, I think. Right? In the ice bath, you're in there, you sit down. and you're supposed to be in there for 20 minutes, and you're still supposed to be. I mean, you have to breathe, right? You have to breathe. I think ice baths are probably better for like recovery.
Yeah, no, I don't think 20 minutes, man. That's long.
Is that long? Some
Like
athletes, I think they do 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I don't do
yeah.
more than 10. I think it depends if you do full body or not, though.
Do you do full body?
I do full body, but man, I don't go more than 10 minutes full body. Like I heard it's like, if you do it longer than 10 minutes, like it's not really that much more beneficial.
Yeah, I
don't
heard
know.
that too.
Yeah.
I heard that too. But some guys are fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, everyone
some
has their
guys.
own theory.
Everyone has their own theory, right? Either way, cold showers or ice bath, I don't know which is better, but just
Yeah.
do either, right? Like,
Mhm.
absolutely do either. Of course, yeah, physical benefits, recovery, more oxygen, better breathing. I find that my performance in the gym when I first started taking cold shower have massively increased because suddenly I have more oxygen supply in my muscles, right? But again, back to the psychological effects, brings you into the present, puts you in a good mental state. If you're trying to deal with something from your past or your future, you want to deal with them from a good place, from a place of good present moment, from a place of positive. If I'm feeling positive, and I mean, I mean, there's a lot of studies that show how cold therapy can be used to treat depression. Lots of studies out there, but I don't need the studies because I understand what's happening is you're oxygenating your body again. You're first of all, the air you're breathing in the city is garbage, right? The food you're eating is garbage. You're basically living in a toxic environment just by the virtue of living in city, right?
Mhm.
So your body is oxygen deficient. And over a period of time of taking cold showers, you're repatterning your breathing, you're rewiring your breathing patterns. You're breathing deeper. You're bringing in more oxygen to the rest of your cells, to all your organs and every cell in your body. Now you have more energy, right? More oxygen, more ATP, more energy. You're more efficient. You're more energy for your brain. More oxygen going to your brain, right?
Okay.
Now you're thinking better. Now you're more positive. Now you're more intuitive. You're better, you're kinder to yourself and you're kinder to others because your oxygen's life. And you have more oxygen. And people who are depressed, the first thing you'll see about someone who's depressed is the breathing patterns are shallow. It's very shallow. And
I think a big symptom of anxiety is having shallow breath.
breathing. That's right. If I'm feeling anxious, I go straight to my belly and I feel I gotta breathe in my belly because I feel like the breathing is shallow. It's coming from my chest. I feel this choking sensation in my throat.
Yeah, like tightness in your chest. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to like when you were saying, so when you're in the cold shower, you're not thinking about the problems that you have, like whether you're getting that job or whatnot. Is the benefits of a cold shower also the fact that it allows you to kind of escape your problems for that period of time and be fully immersed in the present, and then that might carry over to when you're not in the cold shower?
100%, 100%, 110%. Because it'll help you also. I found it helps you like if you're trying to approach girls and like you have that moment where you're uncertain. Well, in a cold shower, you're jumping in, so you just make that jump.
You have that moment right
You have
before.
that moment, yeah, where you jump. And like I used to have problems approaching girls, so I would say to myself before going and jumping in the cold shower, I would say to myself, this is how I'm gonna approach a girl if I see her. Same thing. I'm just gonna remember the cold shower and I'm gonna go for the approach.
Yeah.
Just jump in, right? Just do it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah, I think over time they help you just reset and just escape this monkey mind chatter that's going on all the time, all the time, all the time. And just by the virtue of living in society, you're constantly you're picking that up from the mass consciousness, right? Like if you go into a crowded place, everybody's thoughts are chaotic. You pick that up too, so you become chaotic yourself. Try go for a walk in nature and you'll find that naturally your mind enters more of an alpha state and you become more calm and more relaxed and you're not thinking about much. You're not thinking about the past too much. You're not thinking about the present too much. Right? There's a sense of timelessness when you go for a walk in nature. That same sense of timelessness happens when you're in a cold shower. It's timeless. And once you take them over and over and over, it will be difficult for you to go on without one. It's difficult for me to go on with my day without a cold shower in the morning. It's difficult.
Really?
It's difficult.
Man, but it's so dreadful going in that shower. I can't imagine getting to a point where like I can't not do it.
For about a year, but after a year, you'll
So
like
how long
it.
have you been doing these?
3 years, exactly 3 years. I started in October 2014, so it's October 2017.
Wow.
3 years. Yeah, after about a year, you get addicted to them, and you can't go on without one. I can't go on without one, man, because I know there's Saeed without a cold shower and Saeed with a cold shower,
And
I
so
know
like now when you do them though, how in control are you when you're in the shower? Like
Very.
does it not affect you at
very in
all?
control. No, it affects me, but I'm very in control. I know how to warm up my body pretty fast. I know how to stay calm.
Just through breathing and
Through
being in the
breathing,
present.
just breathing,
Wow.
just breathing. Yeah, just once you learn how to control your breathing, you can get in deep meditative states. You can use binaural beats. I mean, there's a lot of things we can talk about here, right? As far as getting deep into your brain,
Yeah.
deep into your psyche.
Man, we're gonna have to save this for like a whole other podcast.
Oh,
bro.
100%. And I think we'll do a lot more, man.
Yeah.
I want to be like a recurring guest. I want to be a recurring guest here because there's so much to talk about. Like this, in this podcast, I think we're just we're covering very general stuff.
Yeah.
Right, but
we're
we
just
can-
touching the surface.
Touching
yeah.
the surface. We're touching the surface on everything, right? But your brain is so powerful. Your brain is magnificent, right? And it's the tool in which you shape your own reality, right? We're living in this infinite influx of energy, right? It's just energy. Like right now, we're sitting here and I see you, right? And I see this table because my five senses that's what they perceive. But in actuality, there's an infinite number of variables right now that is hitting my brain. It's just the way my brain is designed is, to sort of filter out these variables and keep me surviving. But if you train your brain, you can actually start to see more things, and you can start to hear more things, and you can start to sense more things, right? Cold showers will just give more oxygen to your brain, right? Will help you perceive things better. Your five physical senses will be enhanced. Your intuitive abilities will be enhanced as well.
So like when you do take one in the morning, how long does that last you? Like
5 minutes. I'm in there for 5 minutes because after 5 minutes, and I can stay in there for as long as I want. So
you're numb.
Yeah, you're numb. So after 5 minutes, I say, all right, I got the benefits because I'm just, at that point, it becomes just like taking a warm shower.
But
At
like
that
the
point, you're
benefits of
adjusted.
like more oxygen and stuff. Like how long does that last you usually? It's hard to say.
It's hard to say
Yeah.
because you just sort of rewire your breathing patterns over time. So over time, it's just an overtime thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't really. You can't really see. It's not like drinking
One
a coffee.
shower is gonna be like 3 hours of like.
Yeah, in my first month of taking cold showers, the energy that I had was insane, and the reason why is because my body was not used to breathing in that much oxygen. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? I felt like Goku, man. I felt like Goku. I was like, what's going on here? Because probably the last time I felt this energetic was when I was a kid, before all the social conditioning that made my breathing shallower and depressed my energy, right? So that first month, I would fucking just crazy, insane energy, which now I'm used to. Now it's just become part of me. But when I started, it was insane, right? The energy like when I started taking cold showers, if I had taken a cold showers at night, I wouldn't be able to sleep. But now I'm okay with that because it's just become part of me, right?
Yeah.
But because my body was not used to that much oxygen coming into my body, and it was so oxygen deficient, that getting that much oxygen would give me insane amount of energy, incredible amounts of energy, right? I think everybody can benefit because we're all oxygen deficient. We're all oxygen deficient, and yeah, I mean they help your immune system. They'll make your immune system stronger. They'll help you faster recovery, therefore clear out the toxins from your body much faster too. And they're good for your skin, good for your hair. I mean, it's endless, man. The benefits are endless. If it would be almost foolish not to take a cold shower after knowing its benefits.
Yeah, man. I gotta
yeah,
start doing this.
I
stuff,
think
man.
it would be foolish not to.
Cause I just ice tub once in a while, but I didn't realize cause man, when I wake up I'm like, people say they're not a morning person. I feel like obviously I don't feel great in the morning, but man, like, I want to try this in the morning and see how it feels like. does it suck in the winter when like if you take a cold shower, you already wake up cold and you have to go outside and it's cold again, or like?
Yeah, it sucks big major balls, but the cold showers in the winter can be an ego dissolving experience. You can legitimately lose your fucking ego in those cold showers in winter, because it gets so low, the temperature gets so low that just 2 minutes under that water will shake you to the core. It will
Really?
shake you to the core. Yeah, I've had experiences where, and this happens usually in a winter cold shower, where I would experience ego death. And when I say ego death, I mean like loss of sense of self, right? I would just completely lose sense of everything. I would just be so in the moment, and I would just burst out in laughter, in just pure laughter. This happens to me a lot in cold showers in winter, because it's such a shock to your nervous system, and you have to really breathe deep, really breathe deep, right? That usually after I get out of the shower, I'm laughing like a maniac because of the insane amount of oxygen that I'm getting. Just I'm
Jeez.
laughing like a maniac, right? So you get to experience that sense of, you know, loss of self. So yes, it sucks big balls, big fucking balls, but at the same time, it's one of those sweet misery things. It's a sweet misery, it's bittersweet kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? And I think the cold is a force that can make us stronger.
Yeah.
This is why Russians are so fucking tough.
They do this.
Yeah, Russians are so tough, man. Russians are tough, mean people, because they're used to the cold.
Yeah.
The cold has made them stronger, right? They're tough people. I mean, they had like the highest number of casualties in World War I and World War II.
Oh yeah, like
Right?
like a lot.
By a
higher,
lot,
yeah.
like a lot higher, right?
Yeah.
But they fucking survived, and they made it through it. And they in the Second World War, they won, right? That cold can give you toughness. It can give you strength, right? And like I love the cold, man. We're just starting to get cold here in Canada, and I am loving it. I'm absolutely loving it, because I am forced by nature to get my shit together and get stronger. And of course, we try to get as comfortable as we can. We put on so much clothes, and I do the same thing, right? Like I'm wearing a sweater right now, but at the same time, I'm forced to get stronger when it's cold, right? I still get my ass to nature if I can every single day. I try to spend a few hours in nature if it's cold, right? I still try to withstand the cold, and just get used to it. And your body adapts just like anything else. It'll adapt to the cold, and your body becomes more conscious, I think, in the cold, because you have if you're cold and your body's gonna have to do some work to warm you up, right? So your body's doing work. It's conscious. It's aware. It's alive. It has to be sharp, right? If it's cold, your body has to be sharp at all times. So it's a force. It's a force of nature that we can use to strengthen ourselves, to toughen ourselves, right? And you guys should look into Wim Hof, the Iceman, right?
I heard about it. This guy's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous.
Right? Man, we could do a whole podcast on him.
We'll absolutely. That's a topic for another time. Wim Hof, the Iceman.
Yo, I don't mean to cut you off, but Vid, how long have we been going for, you know?
Almost an hour.
Almost an hour, eh? Yeah, dude, like, yeah, we're encroaching on the hour period. But yeah, like, talk about Wim Hof, and then
And then we'll finish it off, because
Yeah.
we're running out of time. Yeah, Wim Hof has like 20-something Guinness World Records in ice exposure.
he goes like on mountains and shit, like
Yeah.
shirtless and
Shirtless, yeah. He climbed Mount Everest in shorts.
like, oh my gosh.
And he trained people. Some of them were in their 70s with diseases and shit.
Yeah.
He has this breathing technique. It's combining of some sort of yogic breathing with some sort of stuff he's learned over the years.
How is breathing so like powerful, man? Like how? Look, I don't understand. It's just air going in and out of your lungs, so it just doesn't make sense to me how breathing can. Cause man, like you can get those. You can get some scientists being like, "Oh, that's virtually impossible," but he did it, man. It's documented.
Oh yeah, he's changing some of the textbooks in America in universities because they thought some of the stuff he did was physiologically impossible.
Yeah.
And he disproved it, and then he brought people, right? Trained them in his methods, they did the same thing.
Oh, and they controlled for all variables and stuff?
Yeah, they climb. He has yearly, what do you call them? Missions or whatever. He takes people in Poland, and they climb a mountain. At the top of the mountain is -20. And he takes people, some of these guys are old, in their 70s, with diseases and stuff. Trains them, takes them up. They're all climbing in shorts. They have perfect control. They get up to the mountain. It's -20 up there, and they start dancing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it takes right. So it shows you what the human body is capable of, and it shows you that how you can bring the strong side out of you by using the force of cold, right? Yeah, man. I always say, like, when it's winter, welcome home, welcome again, because you're gonna make me stronger.
Yeah.
Right, and it's again a matter of perspective. How do you want to perceive it, right?
Yeah.
You want to start complaining and bitching and moaning about winter? Okay, you can do that, but
Winter is coming.
Winter's coming, right? Or you can be like, okay, I'm gonna get stronger because of the cold.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, man, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stop you there. I'd love to continue, but we'll definitely continue this on a few other podcasts.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But man, thank you so much for coming on the
Oh,
podcast.
absolutely, man. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome hearing your story. I've seen you around campus, and I always wondered what your story was. So now it's out there for the world to see on Battling Basic. Guys, tune in for the next time. Thanks again to Saeed.
Thank you, guys, and have a great day. It's good, man.
Sick,
It's good.
man.
It's sick, man.